And so learning from that in our own personal lives, if you don't understand, if you don't accept the fact that change will happen and that you will have to adapt to that, no matter what you have, no matter how tough life gets, right? Picking yourself up and fighting even when you feel that you have no more fight left in you. Picking yourself up as soon as possible and understanding that this isn't a bad life. It's just a bad situation. It's just a bad circumstance. But there is something worth it at the end of that tunnel, right? And that sometimes, as unpredictable as it is, we can predict to a certain extent if life changes are coming up by looking at our own emotions, by understanding ourselves a little bit better.
I think adapt or die is, again, one of those topics that kind of interweaves with a lot of the messaging that we've carried out throughout the course of our episodes, and it's one that I kind of firmly believe in. And I've noticed there were a few times in my life where I suffered acute adapt or die scenarios, and the one specific time in my life where and again, adapt is just, I would guess, another way of describing change, right? And we've gone through the change episode and we explained about how you should embrace change and all those things. But adapt also means that after the change has happened, how do you live on and seek out what benefits you can draw from this change? And how you can maybe even use this change to your advantage.
You learn from past experiences. We've touched on this a little bit in the previous episode or two, where the bad things happen in your life, the mistakes that you've made happen for a reason because you learn from that. You learn not to touch the hot plate, You learn from your bad experiences, and so you grow, and so you better adapt and you better equip yourself in the future to not fall into those traps again. So once you go through these bad experiences, or not even bad experiences, just changes in your life, you start learning how to cope with them better. And I think the most important thing that you pointed out there is that you start developing a sense of hope once you start realizing and understanding and accepting the fact that change will happen eventually, and that you can be in control of how you respond, how you react to that change. And especially when we're talking about fighting, when you feel that you have absolutely no more fight left. So from time to time, when those changes hit you, they hit you with a curveball and you didn't necessarily see it coming. Maybe it is something like retrenchment. Maybe it is, you got pushed out of a relationship, or maybe it is the fact that you got forced into a new job and now you have to relocate, or maybe your wife got her dream job and she had to relocate. And so when you make that big change in your life and you didn't really anticipate the change, you're going to go through a curve where things are going to feel very uncomfortable because you're stripped out of your comfort zone. You're stripped out of your normal situation. You couldn't have been prepared for that. That's something that just spontaneously popped up in your life. But knowing that you just need to push through this, it's just a dip. It's not a bad life. It's just a bad situation. If you've derived some great value from our show thus far, please take a second to rate and review us on the platform that you're tuned in on. This will really help us to grow the show and reach more and more people, to spread the positivity and change more and more lives. So it will literally just take you a second to rate and review us, and who knows, perhaps you could directly be responsible for changing someone's life today. We look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Until then, cheers.